Hey everyone, welcome back to Pretending with Dice. As always, I'm your host and game master, AJ. Just a quick intro this time around, although actually it's the first intro I've kind of done for a few episodes, isn't it? I've sort of wanted in this first batch of Frontier Season 2 episodes to just kind of have it almost go straight into the story each time, just to kind of keep the momentum going. But I did have a couple of things I wanted to say today before we get into it. Firstly, and I guess most importantly, is that after this episode we're going to be taking a slightly longer break before we get to Chapter 5 of Frontier, only missing out one of our normally scheduled release dates, so it's just going to be a gap of 4 weeks instead of 2 weeks between now and the next episode. The reason for that is that Chapter 5 of Frontier is something a little different. It's a little bit more of a complicated production, and I'm not going to spoil it at all or anything, I'll just leave it at that, but I wanted to give it the time it deserves to really sort of be as good as it can be, so we're taking a little bit longer to get that one ready for you all. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday, August the 1st with that episode. So yeah, I hope you all stick around for it and I hope you're all looking forward to it. The other thing I really wanted to put in this intro is, it's not really an announcement, but it's more of a kind of, kind of a comment on on what you're about to hear. So it's no secret for those long-time listeners that we've been kind of joking about karaoke night happening aboard the USS Tenzing in Frontier for quite a while. And, wait no longer, because this is the karaoke night episode. So really, I just wanted to, up top here, give a huge shout out to the amazing cast members who put themselves out there and actually sung songs for the podcast and that, and you know, they did an incredible job. And so I just wanted to shout out at the top of the episode here that it's just blown away by that, and just how much fun it's been sort of putting this whole karaoke night thing together. So yeah, hopefully that's enough of a hype up for you all. I think we've waited as long as we should. So let's jump in to today's episode then. Chapter 4 of Frontier, Season 2, The Gateway, Part 4. Enjoy. Another deck inspection complete, the turbolift doors close once again on Ensign Johnny Connaught and his 2 cadet charges. I think at this point, Johnny, you're able to catch a quick glance at a general status panel and finally get an idea of the time. Around 4 hours have passed since the ship's near miss with the subspace string threw everything into chaos, including your schedule for the day, which originally was supposed to consist of a battlefield seminar from Murphy in the morning, which was rudely interrupted, and then whatever other duties your superiors had in mind for you for the rest of the day. So with this in mind then, at this point, maybe about 1:30 in the afternoon, you find yourself a man in search of an assignment.
Okay. On that basis then, I think he'd make his way back with the people that has been assigned to him, and go back to security, and see what's happening there and try and get an update on the situation. Find out where he's needed.
Okay, so you start to head towards the security office. I think as the hours have gone on, you've started to notice your 2 cadets showing more and more signs of stress. I mean, they were putting on a pretty professional, kind of brave face early on, but this has been a sort of extended, ongoing kind of crisis situation. You're starting to notice some signs. The Andorian, as has been your sort of observation throughout the short amount of time they've been assigned to you, the Andorian is a bit more professional than the human, but she's been handling it a bit better. But you've noticed just sort of signs that both of them seemed a bit rattled by the whole thing, especially after they were sort of given the context of what had actually happened. I think that info wasn't immediately passed out to everybody on the crew, but as the hours have gone by, sort of announcements have been made, and sort of word has trickled through the crew of the Tenzing by this point.
I don't think Johnny would point it out or anything. Like he would kind of see them and think back on himself in his first times, the shuttle crash in particular, and yeah, he can empathise. So he's going to put on kind of like the professional demeanour and continue on. Find out what we can do to be of assistance at this point.
I think it's not going to be too chaotic in here when you arrive. The doors open and you step into the office. And people have been sort of throughout the day kind of been assigned to similar duties as you were, to like shepherd the engineering teams around. And kind of help as and when. Obviously, being at warp, you're not expecting any borders or anything tactical so much. I think in situations like these, security kind of step in and just help as and where you're needed, sort of thing. Obviously, in an untrained capacity in terms of like engineering stuff. So, like, yours wasn't the only team kind of helping out on that front. So there's a few kind of people coming and going and that, but it's not like you step in and it's like shouting and craziness or anything. It's a lot of people kind of coming and going. You don't see Murphy. Murphy, I guess at this point, would still be on the bridge. You do see Lieutenant Sota at the sort of central console in tactical. I'm kind of picturing a sort of central briefing table, like a kind of, I don't know, a little bit like a war room table, if that makes sense, kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like a kind of like there's holographic things on it and such, and then there's like work desks, workstations around it that people can do stuff at, that have got like computer stations and things like that. And yeah, I think because this is like tactical and security combined, it would have sort of that kind of like specialized overview of the kind of tactical situation. And yeah, you see Lieutenant Sota leaning over the desk. It's currently showing basically a series of slices of the ship being projected as sort of holographic deck plans. You see a bunch of sort of dots moving around, indicating where security teams are moving. Okay,
well, Johnny will approach. Excuse me, Lieutenant Sota, we finished our assignment for the engineering team. We're looking for more work to do.
Good, Connaught. Yes, I think we can find you some. I think we can find you something here. She looks down at her pad at this point. Okay, I'm gonna need you and your cadets to head down to Armory 3. Looks like nobody's got down there yet to give it a once over. Go over the inventory in there and check that everything's as it should be.
Johnny winces slightly. Inventory duty. Of course, yep. No problem at all. I'm sure it'll do the cadets well.
Yeah, you should be good at it by now.
Well, aye, sir. And he kind of like pulls to attention and uses this as an opportunity to be like, I can wander off back towards the cadets. Kind of explains them.
I think at this point as well, like, there's not a huge amount in the way of like actual like high stakes security work at this point in the day. Mm-hmm. Like we're a few hours past the point where like people might have needed help to sick bay and such, and you're kind of almost we're at the picking up and making sure nothing's missing stage of the responding to the emergency. There's no prisoners that need guarding. There's not a huge amount in the way of like exciting work, I guess, kind of thing.
You know what Johnny's like. He wants something to happen.
He does.
And part of him was like, hopefully there'll be something else, but no, it's back to inventory.
Yeah.
So he'll explain to the cadets what they're off to do, and he'll probably just be like, I know a variety of ways of doing this quite quickly. Let me show you. This could be useful for you.
The cadet Shateros, the Andorian, says, I would be honoured to learn your sorting method, sir.
That's the spirit. We'll get through this in no time.
Just nods, yes, sir. And there's a little bit of a gap between when Roger says, yes, sir. Lead the way. As he has cottoned on to the fact that, yes, while it sounds like this, you're saying like this is an important job sort of thing, essentially you're going to a room and counting what's in the cupboard to make sure nothing fell over and broke, I guess. But yeah, look, it needs doing. You need to, this is, things were chucked around, and you are phaser qualified, and it's actually, I believe this is where we first met Johnny in the series, wasn't it? Doing inventory.
Yep.
So yeah, that wasn't on purpose, but we are back to some classic Johnny here.
Well, I guess we'll leave him there unless you want to go through the thrill of sorting phases.
I didn't have anything in mind for that, no, but that's where you are. Unless Murphy had anything in particular she wanted to put Johnny through this afternoon.
No, he's too busy sorting out the stuff up top.
Yeah.
That's a mercy.
Fair enough. Well, the afternoon kind of goes on then. I think on the bridge, you've kind of put together this report for the captain. Ray, I think you get to the point where you realise, like, okay, we've done all we can here. I'm going to go back on my day off again. You feel like comfortable that like there's nothing more you can do at this point to sort of investigate. You've gone through everything that you can go through and sort of figured out how this happened, what happened, and what's coming next. And there's nothing, while the ship's at warp, there's nothing more that you can do. And hanging around the bridge isn't going to sort of help at this point. So you're perfectly free to go back to your quarters or whatever you want to do for the afternoon. Murphy, you're still on duty, but what you want to be doing in the afternoon, I will leave up to you, because you are, other than the captain, you are your own boss.
I think she'd probably just reschedule that. I think it was the tour of her and Ray's battlefield.
Yes,
I think it was that they were at. Yeah, I think she'd probably just reschedule that for another day and just check in with her teams, make sure everybody's running fine. She'd probably go and have a cup of coffee.
That's totally fair.
She's like, right, I need coffee. Just to sit down for 5 minutes.
It's been a stressful morning, I think, for everyone involved. And if you wanted to go grab a coffee, you totally could.
Yeah, I think she'll go and grab a coffee.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyone else want a coffee?
The captain kind of turns around at this point and holds up. He's already got an espresso.
Ray, do you want to come for a coffee?
Not the worst idea in the world.
Okay, so I guess you and Ray go for coffee then.
Stretch our legs a bit.
Yeah.
Get off the bridge for a breather.
So, in the name of kind of checking in with everybody at this point, then, Arila, down in sick bay, most of the sort of the injuries from the emergency were kind of pretty minor. So, over the course of the morning and early afternoon, pretty much all of those people have kind of been treated, or at the very least, like, evaluated and told that should be pretty minor. Just stay off that, or like take it easy and things like that. And so, pretty much all of the minor injuries have been discharged at this point. The more serious injuries have been put into the ICU room, I think. Mostly for recovery, because I think between yourself doing surgery and your team also kind of working the problems, everybody's out of the woods. So it's mostly kind of recovery. You've seen I think, many people today, but the one that you personally operated on in surgery, Ensign Mizraki, has not woken up yet. I mean, that's to be expected. It's at this point we're an hour and a half after the surgery happened. So yeah,
no, we would be keeping him asleep so that he doesn't need to feel the last of everything knitting together still. Yeah,
I mean we've got all the sort of Star Trek sci-fi tools for medical stuff, but at the end of the day, they're not instant. They're an improvement on what we have now, and like certain injuries just still take time to heal, and surgery is still major, and especially
you still need time to just feel better in yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something that all the tech in the world can't completely eliminate the need of.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's not a magic wand at the end of the day, and this guy has had major cranial surgery, and recovery time is definitely still on the cards. But yes, as I was saying, the people who are more severely injured are all they're not in danger, they're all stable and everything, but they're kind of in recovery in the ICU, and there's a couple of people who had broken arms and that who and broken limbs and such are still kind of getting them set and such, but by and large it's a lot calmer in here than it was in the immediate aftermath of the evasive maneuvers, and you're able to finally get a bit of a a moment to breathe, as I'm not saying it's quiet in here, there's still people, but it's it's quieter than it was even just a couple of hours ago.
I think at this point Urila's just glad that nothing else happened. Like, I imagine she got quite a bit of an adrenaline surge with the initial oh no, something's happened, there's tons of people coming in, we don't have too many emergencies, that's good. And then it's having a chance to slow down slightly, and it's just like, right, okay.
I think it's probably been a little while since you've had an emergency like that happen. Definitely that's the first kind of major incident on this ship, and you've been aboard for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Obviously this wasn't like a battle situation or anything, but the fact that it was like the way the ship evaded and everything, it couldn't help but kind of bring your mind back to situations like that you've maybe been in the past, and you go straight into kind of like, okay, crisis mode, let's deal with this. And I feel like just for a lot of people on the ship, the adrenaline would have been quite high in that situation, and now this is, as I say, the first moment to properly look just like, and breathe, okay, we're things are looking up.
That was concerning. That could have been worse. Not going to relax quite yet, because second you do, something else will happen.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a medical field.
Yeah. I think as well, the thing with the emergency we just had, it was like, it's so rare for something like that to happen while the ship's at warp. Like, stuff happens while, exploring and such, but it's very rare that during transit we have like a major incident. So I think it probably caught a few people off guard. Not fully, because, you were briefed that, like, okay, we don't really know what we're going to run into, and this is, a dangerous enough transit that we're having to go at a lower speed than normal. So it wasn't like a completely out of nowhere sort of thing that something might go wrong. But this was suddenly, middle of the day, hundreds of people all of a sudden injured.
That is not the point at which you're expecting something dramatic to happen.
No, I'd imagine as well, like, at warp is probably a time where the usual thing that's happening in sickbay is like, this is a time where, like, well, we've got a day or two of transit time. This is when regular appointments and like checkups and things are happening. It's not when emergencies are happening normally. This is a time to get caught up on the the basics of general medicine. This
should be having standard clinics and, I don't know, therapy appointments. And
that's what I mean. The kind of low stakes sort of. So yeah, I think if we're not gonna, I think, stick too closely to a like minute by minute thing in this kind of afternoon. But was there anything you wanted to sort of do now that things have calmed down in sickbay, or anybody actually? We've got a few hours to play with here.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's fine. No, I mean, we can just sort of say then. So you're still kind of on shift here, and just sort of supervising the care of the people who were still in sickbay.
Yeah, I'll hang about for a bit longer, because again, it's as soon as I think everything's fine and I step out that door. Yeah. Something is going to happen.
A little bit of a worry. You don't want to jinx it by going, we're safe now.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murphy is probably in the same mind. She's probably going to linger until she's sure that everything's evenly spread work-wise. And that people have got some downtime along with that, because everybody needs to go grab a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah, okay. So how about after that? What's going on after that?
She'll probably head back to her quarters and practice some of the song lyrics for some of the songs on the playlist.
I was going to say, we don't yet know what Murphy's song she's going for.
Murphy doesn't know what song she's going for.
Okay. So I think we can say then, throughout the course of the afternoon, that things pretty much go back to normal aboard the ship. The Tenzing and the Auckland are both slowed down to the slightly lower warp speed again, so you've added a little bit of extra time onto your trip. So you're still a little ways away from arriving at your destination. By and large, everybody's kind of been informed of the situation with, like, we've lost contact with the USS Nelson, but we're hoping to catch up with them with minimal fuss when we reach our destination. And all we can do is trust that they know what they're doing and that. So by kind of mid-afternoon, while this is, the events are probably on people's minds, things have pretty much gone back to normal. So yeah, it comes to the evening time. Johnny, you finish up your fun afternoon of inventory work with your cadets. Woo. Who, after about half an hour, the cadets realise, like, oh, okay, there is quite a lot of boring work to be done here. I mean, not that you were kind of keeping them in the dark about that or anything, but like, I think this probably isn't the most fun afternoon of their placement that they've done. No. But yeah, you sure do a great job of checking phasers and various other supplies and things that were in Armory. Did I say Armory 3? Might have been Armory 3. I think so. Everything seems to be in order. Some stuff had fallen, some stuff had been disturbed, but by and large, stuff is kept pretty secure in the armories. So, but this was a check that needed doing, and 4 o'clock rolls around, and you are off duty. Okay, I'll dismiss the cadets then. They scurry away to wherever it is that cadets go, and head off back to the room, get changed, and prep for a karaoke night. I guess you'd been invited for karaoke night there by Murphy. I don't think we had really come up with a plan as to like what you weren't like meeting anybody or anything. No,
it was like a casual invite. Yeah, it's like, oh, come along, should be fun.
So yeah, you know that it's happening in the Deck 5 officers lounge. I don't think this is a room that you really go to. Well, it's well known at this point, you'd like go 10 forward. Mm-hmm. This is, it's an officers lounge. Johnny is an officer, but I think we'll probably end up with kind of like a little bit of an unsaid thing about like, different groups end up going to different places, and maybe this lounge is just sort of over time has kind of picked up a kind of feeling of like, oh no, this is where like, some of it's like lieutenants and up generally kind of frequent the lounges up on these decks a little bit. There's no actual kind of real division here. There's nothing stopping ensigns coming in here and whatnot, but that stuff kind of picks up a vibe like that, doesn't it? Of like, oh no, this is kind of where we hang out, and yeah, I get what you mean. So this maybe isn't a place that Johnny goes to very often, I think. Okay. I don't think he's got too much trepidation about him, aside from the fact that the singing and what have you, but he's probably going to lean on the Dutch courage a little bit. We'll see. So you're getting ready, and when I guess you're not staying in your uniform, I'm assuming. Oh, you can if you want, but like it's just no. I think I'll just go for some casual wear. Mm-hmm. Well, we know you've got a sort of slightly Bajoran fashion to some of your casual wear, to the Johnny Connaught dress up playset. Yeah, so something in that line, the browns and earth tones and all that. Yeah. So yeah, you're just about ready when the door opens and Bond kind of walks in, and he looks pretty exhausted. So comes in and drops his he's got like a kind of equipment case that you've seen him use before. It's sort of personal tools and things, and sort of flops down on his bed. It's like, that was a long one. Oh yeah, looks like it. We were running around looking for problems on one of the decks, me and the cadets. Looks like you had a bit of a rougher time. What happened to you? I've been in and out of Jeffrey's tubes for the last 6 hours. Oh, how are the knees? He looks down and he hasn't worn through the knees or anything, but he's just it's a bit sore. The one thing I miss here on the Tenzing that I had back on Ferenginar was a proper bath. Don't get me wrong, I got no problem with the showers, but sonic showers or whatever, but I just feeling of being surrounded like in the swamp just kind of really relaxes me. Well, I don't know if the holodeck's good enough on that front, but that's always an option. You might be right.
Well, but you can't go wrong with the holodeck.
He starts rummaging through his various belongings. He pulls out like a data card. It was the only thing he gave me, so I held on to it, but I was a bit annoyed when he did. My brother gave me this program. It's not really my style, but at least I know it's got baths in it. Maybe now's the time to fire it up. I have to keep this on the hush-hush, though. He holds up a data disk with a label on it that says, Beta Z Love Spa.
Johnny cocks an eyebrow at that. Oh, it's that kind of bath.
It is. I could turn off all the other characters, though. I
trust that you will. Whatever you get up into the holodeck is your business.
Hey, now look. I just don't want you to think I'm doing it for any other reason. Like, it's just, I know what people think about us Ferengi, and so, I'll agree with it. Some of us, there's some real creeps out there, but just don't let this get around, all right?
I know you, Bonge. It's fine. It's fine.
It's just the bath.
I absolutely trust you on this. I've got to get going. I've got some karaoke to attend to, but you have a good time with your bath.
Karaoke? I didn't know you sung.
Well, I've been invited. I try from time to time. Mostly in the shower, I guess. The sonic shower.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's just keep this between ourselves, and I won't talk about your shower singing. You don't talk about these holodeck programs.
That's a fair trade.
Okay. Well, have fun.
You too. And he gives him a wink, and then heads out the door.
You wink, he goes, hey, no winking. The door closes between.
Johnny laughs as he's going out the door.
Okay, so, you make your way to the Deck 5 Officers' Lounge, a few decks above your quarters. So it's a pretty casual atmosphere. The lights are down low, but there's been some decoration has been done. There's, I don't want to say like fairy lights, like Christmas lights strung up, but that kind of thing. It's setting like a kind of moody, kind of dark, not dingy bar, but like it's a dark kind of like atmosphere in here. There's kind of like small, like kind of tea light sized lights on each of the tables that kind of giving like kind of mood lighting in here, sort of thing. And sort of front and center in front of the viewports, there's like a little stage set up with a small, fairly unobtrusive, like kind of screen set up for words and things. And you can see that there is a microphone on a stand set up. You're here a little bit early, but a few people are kind of filing in, and you see there's empty tables, and there's tables with people on them.
Okay. Well, if there's a bar, then he'll prop up there for now and wait for people that he recognises to filter in.
Yeah, there is a small bar in here. It's more of like this is definitely not as big a lounge as 10 Forward, but there is a kind of small little bar area. It's mainly just kind of like a counter with a replicator behind it. A couple of bottles here, like in a case as well. So it's not all replicated, but it's definitely not as well stocked as the 10 Forward bar.
Okay. So if it's just like a stand-up bar, then maybe he'll grab a drink and then try and find a prime table.
Sure. Yeah. How many seats are you looking for?
Do I know how many people are in the group?
Well, are you in a group? That's the thing.
Ostensibly. I've got the invite. Let's just go for as big a table as I can find, and it'll look weird with one person sat at it for as long as it does.
Yeah, okay, you find a round table with like 6-7 seats around it, and you're able to sit down.
Cool.
Okay. Murphy and Ray, how early or late are you arriving at karaoke night?
I don't know, fashionably late-ish?
I imagine Ray is probably hounding Murphy to hurry up.
Which is why we're going to be fashionably late-ish, because Murphy's taking a while.
Because she'd probably dress to match the theme.
Yes. The theme of maybe Johnny didn't know because he hadn't been on the previous karaoke night, but you would know that the theme is 1970 to 2020.
Yeah, so she's probably gone for like mid 80s style I'd imagine.
Okay.
We'll just go that way.
I mean, something, when you said 80s style, the thing that popped into my head immediately was like the neon kind of like leg warmers kind of like crazy.
I was going more the Blondie route.
Okay, yeah, no, that works. I don't know why, but I think it was just like I went to like a Stranger Things 2 place, like the one with the mall where it's like, you know. No, more Blondie. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. She's probably struggling with the eyeliner knowing on her.
Is that the cause of the hold up? It's just like, oh.
Can't get this eyeliner.
What's Ray's outfit of choice?
Ray is sort of he's gone the kind of 80s into 90s kind of rocker look. There's a leather jacket involved. Actually, I don't know. Do you know what? I'm gonna go the dark leather trousers.
Okay.
And a denim vest with various band patches on it.
Okay.
And a pair of red Nikes with black stripes down the side. The 3 stripes down the side.
Okay.
Yeah, and van braces on with the studs coming out on both ends.
You dress like you're in Slayer.
Are we the Breakfast Club in the corner, Ray?
I think we might be.
Okay, so yeah, you know, you're both fully glammed up and ready for the night. I think it's probably safe to say, you know, from the conversation that we've had over the last however many episodes, this has been something that both of your characters have been looking forward to.
Yeah.
Johnny, you've been sat at the table, and are you kind of holding it? Are you waiting, you know?
Yeah. In that way, where if anybody's coming out, I'm kind of like, oh no, sorry, reserved, kind of deal.
Murphy's on her way.
Yeah. Okay, so as you got one of the larger tables in the lounge, I'm definitely picturing like you're sat there waiting for a while, and like, you know, people are filtering in. It's starting to get a bit full in here. It's a popular event, and you've got this 6-person table, and anytime anybody's like, people are walking up going, oh, hello Connor, how are you doing, and everything, you're like, these seats are taken. Kind of. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm waiting for my friends to arrive. But yeah, good to see you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, have a good evening, I guess.
You too.
And Johnny's just like, yes, lovely to see you. Now fuck off.
He's starting to sweat a little bit, like, where is everybody?
So yeah, Murphy at
I
this
can't
point.
hold it, Captain. I can't hold
the table.
Is this a prank? Is this a prank?
Yeah, so Murphy, you and Ray arrive to see Johnny looking with I think probably at this point maybe half empty drink in front of him, looking a little bit stressful as he's fending off yet another group from a quite large table that he seems to have parked himself at.
Sorry. My fault.
Oh, thank God you're here.
Yeah, so your boss likes to take her time getting dolled up, as it were.
It's not my fault that this stupid liner thing is like stupid paintbrush doesn't work. I should be able to do this.
And can you?
Apparently not.
Well, there we are.
Not when I'm rushed.
I'm sorry, rushed. We're half an hour late.
She kept rushing me.
Hey, guys, we're here for a good time. You both look great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Johnny.
Let's get some drinks.
Yeah. We gotta see what the lineup is today. I'm hoping we get some good ones.
There's a lot of familiar faces in here in terms of people that usually come. Not many other sort of senior staff tend to come to this so much. The captain has put in an appearance once or twice, you think, but you get the feeling it's kind of not his thing.
And the captain is the one I would expect to turn up in country gear.
Like fully like double denim, like a cowboy hat and boots.
Boots and everything.
Full on Johnny Cash, yeah.
He's waiting for a different theme night, maybe.
I was thinking more Achy Breaky Heart.
It's the only country song that survived 300 years is Billy Ray Cyrus. You're not expecting Commander Lynn either. This definitely isn't her thing. But also she's on duty on the bridge at the moment. You don't see Dr. Arela, but she had previously told you not my thing.
And we'd probably understand that she's had a busy day.
Yeah.
With the injuries and stuff.
Yeah. Commander Carter had told you that it was date night between him and his wife. So they are not here, but you had invited him to maybe swing by later, so who knows. But there's a few familiar faces here, sort of, that you're used to seeing, mainly in this context, I think. I'm not saying there's nobody from each of your departments. I mean, there's you recognise a few people, and in fact, you're fully expecting Lieutenant Brayburn, who is meant to be running this. And as you look around, he just seems to be kind of getting set up at the front of the stage there. So that's he's one of your officers, Ray. But yeah, I'd say there's a few people here, a few people that you know are pretty good at singing, a few people you know are not good at singing but come every time, and one or two people who you don't think have come to this before. I think
our main competition there.
Now,
do we have competition, right?
I don't know, you tell me. Who pitch me who you think your main competition would be in this probably least competitive thing ever.
I think there's two possibilities.
Right.
The competition. I think there's a subsection of the engineering team who might be aiming to compete with us, but also looking across the room, I can see one of the nacelle control teams giving us the evils.
This is a long-standing.
Maybe it's one of each. Maybe they're a pair as well.
Yes,
they are like nemesis pair.
Combined. Yeah. Combined
for the duet.
Nacelle Watch. Yeah. Their karaoke band name is Nacelle Watch.
Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, you see them, the two of them over there. You recognise them because they're here every time. Known for singing duets as well, just to kind of rub it in your faces a little bit. Quite good. Look, they're good singers, and they're good at harmonising. So yeah, you look over, you see them, and they're kind of giving you evils a little bit. Not like fully evils, but like there's like a sort of a look in their eye of like, oh, it's on. This is Lieutenant Harper, who's the team leader for left nacelle control, and Lieutenant Dejoux, who is team leader for right nacelle control. And they've got their game faces on.
They look really happy together, don't they?
They look so smug right now.
I bet you anything they end up trying to do Perfect 10 by Beautiful South.
Oh, they can never hit that.
Johnny's kind of nodding and smiling along, not quite sure exactly what level of rivalry this is, but plumbing on to the contextual clues of what's going on here.
I feel like as well, like, you hadn't actually explained to Johnny that there was even a rivalry, and you haven't, and you've essentially sat down and gone, oh, hello, Johnny, yeah, that was going to be a good time, and then you've immediately like almost turned and gone, there they are. Like,
yeah, that's the way I'm reading this, and Johnny's like, okay, right, well, I see that this is the thing.
Yeah. The scumbags at the arse end of the ship.
Ray. It's fine. Just don't look at them. They'll be okay. Those are our rivals for the competition, Johnny.
Oh, I see. I didn't know we were competing. Do we all vote? How does this work?
It's more down to public opinion, really. Who gets the bigger cheers at the end of their set? You know.
Yeah, and there's some points. There's a system, but yeah, roughly gets down to who gets the most cheers.
Does the computer measure the decibel level?
I wouldn't say the computer's got an interest in it, no. I think it's down to just people's reactions in the moment, and also, you know, whoever gets the bigger cheers ends up with some good ship cred.
Our host is usually the one who will settle the different rounds.
That's right. That reminds me, I was supposed to give him some Latinum earlier.
Ray!
Kidding.
Not on karaoke night, it's sacred.
No bribery on karaoke night.
Yep.
So yeah, you're kind of looking around, like there's kind of light music playing in the background as Lieutenant Braeburn is getting set up. At this point, Johnny, you've got a couple of extra seats on the table, and as you look up, Edson Faria walks in.
He waves her down. Hey, Faria, hey.
Hi. I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Well, I was invited by my friends Murphy and Ray. I mean, you probably know them, commanding officers and all.
Yeah, of course. Commanders. Are you with Bunge tonight? Or do you know what he's up to?
No. Tonight, well, he was actually really I think he was just a bit tired. I think he's back in the bunk, just relaxing tonight.
Oh, right then.
Did you want to join us? Are you with anybody?
I'm actually meeting some friends, but I'll maybe stop by later. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
And she walks off.
Ray just lifts his glass up and leans into Murphy and says, "And they call it puppy love." Then takes a sly sip.
Johnny gives a confused look, like I don't think there was much there, really. Was there?
Murphy's just gonna narrow her eyes and then look at Ray and be like, "I'm pretty sure she's dating the Ferengi."
Yeah, for now.
Murphy's just shaking her head. Just ignore him, Johnny. Just ignore him. You're off duty. You don't have to listen to him.
I think Johnny will polish off his drink at that point. I think I'm going to go to the bar, actually. Anybody want anything?
Yeah, a drink will be fine. Yeah, thanks.
Anything so long as it's not purple.
Easily done. I'll be right back.
It's about this time that Lieutenant Braeburn steps forward up to the microphone, and there's a sort of there's a smattering of applause, and a few woo kind of shouts out as people are prepared for the night, and you can't help but glance over at your competition, who are intensely they look like they're psyching themselves up, kind of thing. Crew of the USS Tenzing, is the second Friday of the month. We're in the Deck 5's officers' lounge. The lights are low, the speakers are high. You know what that means. It's karaoke! It's like, woo! See some familiar faces here, as well as some new ones, so welcome one and all. This month's theme is, of course, the music of Earth from the year 1970 to the year 2020. I know a lot you've been practicing. I'm looking at you, Lieutenant Kwiek. Don't think I haven't heard your dulcet tones echoing down the Jeffries Tube late at night. But yeah, kicking things off tonight with the Bee Gees' Staying Alive, it's Dr. Mulvon. Take it away, Doc. Benzite steps up to the microphone as the music of the Bee Gees kicks in.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud and women wanting, kicked around since I was born. Now it's alright, it's okay. You may look the other way. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on
I'm literally just seeing Murphy and Ray listening to, they don't know the song, listening to it and thinking, is it okay, is it a good one, and then just being you've done a bit of a deep dive as much as you can do, but it's 100% possible that you guys just did not stumble across it, and that yeah.
Well, now I get low and I get high, never can't get either, I really try. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes, I'm a dancing man and I just can't lose. It's alright, it's okay, I'll live to see another day.
Bopping our heads, feet tapping. It's alright.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
So where's Johnny at this point?
Well, I think he'll have returned with the drinks and will be I'm trying to think of whether he would have too much knowledge of this period in particular. I think he'll have done some research to have picked a song or two. But yeah, he's probably equally with the others, a little bit fascinated by all of this. And it's almost like a cultural exchange.
You weren't given a lot of warning, though, actually, as to come along to karaoke night, because I think, timeline-wise, I think you were invited this morning. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, when would I have time to have looked, I guess, or listened?
Well, that's a question. Did you, during your inventory work, did you have time to just look up a couple of tunes?
Yeah, maybe
you have
we
a
can
sidebar?
and have it. You use that as an opportunity to just play like a selection of music, and as such, the cadets got this as well.
So you're not completely in the dark as to this music, but maybe you haven't heard a lot of it outside of that, as opposed to like Ray and Murphy, who've had like not only like previous karaoke experience, but like they've had a month to prepare, like based on the theme they were given.
Okay.
Yeah. Ray, what are you what are you thinking at this point?
It's funky.
That's a good beat.
Yeah, it's got a good beat to it. It's not my go-to genre, but it's got merits.
It's a little squeaky.
Yeah, I'm having trouble telling if the Doctor is actually singing with one voice or three.
Life going nowhere. Somebody help me out. I'm staying alive. Yes, I'm staying alive.
Dr. Mulvon finishes off the track. It's a round of applause. I think it's, pretty good opening performance. I don't think Dr. Mulvon is anyone that you've really seen here too often, but it's maybe not their first time. They've been in here once or twice, but they're not a seasoned karaoke veteran like you two.
Still, good effort.
Yeah. Lieutenant Braeburn takes back the mic and says, "That's great work. Let's hear it again. Hear it up for the Doctor. Doctor, your patient is waking up."
Oh, right. Yes. Thank you.
You make your way through to the ICU, and the patient that you operated on with the head injury from earlier in the day, Ensign Mizraki, is lying in bed. He's sort of blinking his eyes at the light, and he looks a little bit bleary and confused. Where am I? How did I get here?
Don't worry, Ensign. You're in sick bay. The ship had a bit of a jolt while we were travelling at warp earlier today.
I don't remember where... Wait, I was in the hangar bay. Sort of see him sort of move to almost sit up, but it's like he hasn't quite got the energy to do it, but it's like he's trying to sit up with a bit of joy. Hannah and Wrath, are they okay?
Yes, everyone is fine. There's been some bumps and scrapes and bruises, but you were the worst injured that we had today, and you will be fine. You had quite a nasty knock to the head. It's probably best to not try to move too much yet.
Yeah, I feel... You're not kidding, Doc. I feel like I've been hit by a starship.
I mean, maybe a shuttle.
That's not how I thought my day was going to go.
No, I can't imagine it was. On the plus side, everything else has been smooth sailing since. And you'll have a couple of days off. I'd like to keep you in here at least another 24 hours just to make sure that everything's healing fine. And take advantage of having some time off.
I'm sure the others will be happy about picking up my workload. You see his eyes sort of begin to droop and flutter, and he quite quickly passes out again. You check the monitors around him, the screens and everything, and this isn't anything to be concerned. He's just he's still feeling the after effects of surgery, and he's sleeping peacefully.
Rilla will turn the lights down a bit more and head back out.
Yeah, good sign that he woke up and had a vague memory of where he was and what he was doing and who he was working with, so yeah.
Brains take the longest to heal.
Yeah. Alright, he had no memory of being brought to sick bay or anything, or actually of the accident at all. That's
probably a good thing.
Yeah. It's like he vaguely knew he was working in the shuttle bay with the ones who brought him in, Ensign Schroeder and Ensign Wrath, and they were the two that brought him in, but he doesn't remember anything actually happening or anything. That, as far as he knows, like, he was working, and now he's just woken up here.
I suspect Arila would want to let his colleagues know that. Could I check if... neither of them should still be on shift.
No, they wouldn't be at this point.
Yeah. No, actually, she probably wouldn't get in touch with them when they're off duty. She might just make a note of it on the system in sickbay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
To say that if they get in touch, to let them know that he's woken up, things will be fine, he just needs a bit of time.
Yeah, that's fair. So like a sort of, not low priority, but like more of a kind of when they check their own kind of systems. Yeah, it's been quite a big day, and if they, especially since they were helping a moderately severely injured colleague to sickbay from the hangar, if they're managing to relax and de-stress, it's probably better to just leave them to that for now. Yeah.
But to make sure that there's clearance for them to get that limited information.
For sure, yeah.
Actually, does he have any family on board?
You can look up and see if he does, if you want.
Yes, I would like to check for family.
Yeah. It's a quick search on the system. You're able to bring up his service record and things like that. You see that he is he doesn't actually have any family on board himself. He's only 22. He's pretty freshly out of the academy. Came aboard probably around in the same group as Bonge, fresh out of the academy, first posting person. So, yeah. Okay,
yeah. In that case, that will be his call when or if he wants to talk to them about it.
Yeah.
It's just in case he was living with someone on board who would be concerned, or...
Yeah. I think it would be a case of, like, if you were in, like, normal Federation space, getting in contact with his family just in case of a thing would be, like, fairly simple. But where you're a little bit cut off at the moment, communications-wise as well, like, this would be a thing that, like, even if we weren't in the middle of, like, a dangerous thing, it would be, like, wait till we're out of warp to assess and things and that and everything. Yeah. But as far as you can see, he hasn't got any family on board.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think there's anything else that Arila would necessarily want to do in regards to getting in touch with people surrounding him, just giving the permission for the...
Yeah. I think maybe the one thing to do would also be, like you say, you've sent a message to the people who brought him in. You could also update his immediate superior as well. But yes, he is on the mend. Big round of applause for Lieutenant Boleyn, Barzan Quartermaster, as she finishes up her rendition of Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way. Bigger round of applause for her, I think, than a Dr. Marvon, who did a serviceable job, but Boleyn is, like, I'd say, it's a rising star in the Tenzing karaoke community.
Dark horse.
Yeah. Potential future competition, maybe. So, Johnny, we're a couple of songs into the night at this point. And we know you've had a drink or two. Are you feeling the urge to get on the mic at all, or what is how is Johnny feeling at this? Because this is a little bit out of his comfort zone in terms of, like, events that he goes to.
Yeah, this not being his thing, I think Johnny, instead of jumping up himself, will turn to the other two and just kind of be like, "So, who's going to show me how it's done?"
I'm going to look at Ray and we're going to do rock, paper, scissors.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's me! Finger guns to herself.
Come on, knock him dead, girl.
So you stand up and head to the stage, and Lieutenant Braver says, "Well, looks like we got Commander Murphy heading to the stage here. Always a highlight. What have you got for us tonight, Commander?"
Well, I'm going to go for Blondie.
Nice. Okay, let's hear it for Commander Murphy. Okay, so Johnny, this is your first time seeing Murphy singing, I guess.
I think Johnny's going to be respectful and is enjoying the mood of the whole thing. So, like, yeah, he's just into it. Maybe we'll just comment over to Ray and just be like, so you do this often then?
Yeah, we enjoy karaoke night. Every time it rolls around, we give it a go.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of your boss's voice? Don't worry, I won't tell her what you said.
Not bad, I guess. I didn't really know what to expect.
Johnny, as you're listening to Murphy sing, you're just kind of taking this opportunity to kind of look around the room a little bit, and your eyes fall on where Faria is sat with friends. And you can't help but notice she sat quite closely with a young Bajoran man. You would guess that he's another Starfleet officer, but you're all out of uniform here. As you sort of watch, he sort of puts his arm around her, leans in and whispers in her ear briefly, and she giggles.
I suppose Johnny will kind of take it in, and yeah, I don't know that he has much reaction to that necessarily, aside from just being like, oh yeah, things are going on.
I mean, no thoughts of... You're filing this away for later, is this?
Oh yeah, it's just it's a evening out. People are carousing.
Okay.
Yeah, I took note of it, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
He doesn't. His mood isn't going to be swung by this or anything like that.
Fair enough. Okay. You continue to kind of look around the room. There's a few familiar faces in here, I will say. It's probably nobody that you know super close to or anything, you know, or that you have a lot of interactions with. But yeah, you've been on the ship for a little while now, so you begin to sort of pick up faces that you just see around the corridors and that. And yeah, everybody seems to be having a good time. You can't help but notice the pair that had been pointed out to you as Ray and Murphy's competition, kind of intently watching Murphy's performance here, sort of a look of kind of competitiveness in their eyes, I would say. I think the general feeling, though, as you look around, is that people are having a good time. If anything, there's a little bit of a vibe of like people sort of taking the chance to let their hair down after a big emergency has just happened, and you know, trying to really kind of put out of their mind all the stress of the work day that you've all just had and what might be to come. And yeah, like I say, just taking the opportunity to forget all of that for an evening and have a bit of fun for a change. So yeah, there's another round of applause as Murphy finishes her song. Johnny, again, you can't help but notice the sort of slightly lackluster response from the competition, I should say. They're giving some strong looks, and there's some whispers exchanged between them as Murphy leaves the stage.
Glaring daggers.
Yeah.
Glaring daggers.
Yeah.
I'm just going to flash them the devil horns at them.
Yeah. As you come off the stage. They don't know what it means at all, because, yeah.
No, neither does Murphy. She's just like, she saw it in the pictures.
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah, that's something.
Well, so some of us may have had our fill of rocking about today from those manoeuvres the helm team put us through, but not Lieutenant Thomas. From the year 1975, here he is with Kisses Rock and Roll All Night. Look, he's not a good DJ. So yeah, Murphy, you're back at the table.
Nicely done, Murphy.
Whoa. Good laugh, that. Good song. I like that one.
I think you nailed it.
Well, at least I gave them something to think about. I want to see what they come up with.
The door opens during this song, and Johnny, you kind of catch out of the corner of your eye Ensign Bareka and her friend Ensign Lasiv, the Tellarite, walk in. They immediately clock you and then sit at a neighbouring table.
Kind of give them a respectful nod and locked eyes with Bareka.
She's not smiling at you.
I wouldn't expect it.
Because she's walked in and seen you sitting not only with the boss but also the head of another department as well.
Okay.
And you see Ensign the Civ kind of leans in and sort of whispers something, and Bareka just sort of clenches her fists a little bit.
Does Murphy notice them?
I don't know. Yeah, you tell me.
I think she'd notice them. I think she's just going to offer a wave.
And they immediately put on like a smiling face and wave to you.
Johnny's giving them a bit of a shit-eating grin at this moment. But like, while Murphy's head is turned away from him, he's looking at them like, yeah, that's right, I'm sat at their table.
So Bereka stands and passes behind you on the way to the bar. Accidentally knocks your shoulder.
Watch where you go, Bereka. I know you're a bit clumsy.
I always watch where I go, Johnny Connaught. Perhaps you should watch where you put your chair.
Well, I'm just sat at the table and I'm going to kind of look over at Murphy.
Murphy's not looking at him, she's looking over somewhere else. She's pretending she's not listening. While, like, side-eyeing Ray with, like a slight smirk. Like, for God's sake.
Well, I'll make sure to pull my chair in, and he intentionally makes a big act of, like, moving in just like a fraction of an inch. There you go, I think you'll be alright next time. Just watch where you go.
She just kind of like, not like growls at you, but sort of like gives a bit of like a I think only you notice it, just a little bit of a sort of upturning of the mouth a little bit to be like a careful now, kind of like
Gnarling.
and turns back to the bar.
Ray just looks to Murphy and says, I take back what I said about Johnny and Faria. There's definitely more tension there.
Hey.
Sorry, Johnny, I didn't realise you were still sat with us.
Wow, what a burn. Like
Murphy's going to kick Ray under the table. Oh, behave.
All right, I'm sorry, Johnny. It's the simple hole. It's not having as much of an effect as I would like.
Oh, it's fine. Me and Bereka really have a bit more of a rivalry, more than anything else.
I'll assign you to something together. Maybe spending some time together will...
Who's singing the next song? And Johnny's going to pick up his drink and take a big swig.
Nacelle Watcher up next, I think.
You are quite right. As you look over into your competition, Lieutenants Harper and Dejoux taking the stage together to sing a duet.
Don't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. Oh honey, if I get restless, baby, you're not that kind. Don't go breaking my heart. You take the weight off of me. Oh honey, when you knock on my door, ooh, I gave you my key. Ooh, nobody knows it. But when I was down, I was your clown. Ooh, nobody knows it. But right from the start, I gave you my heart. Ooh, I gave you my heart. So don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart.
I think at this moment, Bereka passes back behind you again, Johnny. You sense her kind of pause a second as she passes and then carries on back to her table because she's got drinks for her and the Civ.
Okay. Paranoid, Johnny will look around behind him for a second then.
There's nothing there. It's almost just like she's walking back and she was like thought about saying something else, but then carried on. It's more what I meant by that than.
Johnny was a little bit paranoid about maybe having a drink spilled down his back or something like that. He hasn't quite felt yet, something like that.
She's there with one person, but she's bought 3 drinks: one for her friend, one for chucking.
Never know.
So you notice they're getting Bereka and the Civ start sort of quietly talking, and you definitely, I think, Johnny, clock them looking up at you every once in a while and just sort of like quite intensely like whispering back and forth.
Yeah. Typical stuff from these two.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have kind of observed them for a brief moment after they've gone off to their table, and then gone back to trying to enjoy the evening, and just kind of wrote them off as like,
Yeah.
same old, same old.
Don't go breaking my heart. Nobody knows it. When I was down, I was your clown. Right from the start, I gave you my heart. Oh, I gave you my heart. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart.
Big response from the crowd as the two nacelle control officers finish their duet, and as they come off stage, they give you a pointed look, Murphy.
They took my challenge and they answered.
Yeah. Might be up to Ray to settle the score at this. So, I mean, karaoke night is a whole night, so I don't think we need to go minute by minute throughout the whole thing. We will rejoin for Ray's song, but I think it's safe to say that, you know, throughout the course of the evening you will have like a pretty good time. The only other drama blip I kind of want to say that happens shortly after the nacelle team get off, Johnny, you see the Bajoran ensign pulling Faria up on stage and asks Lieutenant Brayburn if they can also sing a duet, and there proceeds to be a fairly awkward performance of Total Eclipse of the Heart, where it is, I think, quite clear to everyone involved that Faria's not really that into it, I think.
Yeah, she's a little bit uncomfortable by the song choice.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like unsure and like quietly singing maybe.
Okay.
But she's like kind of like off to one side and just, yeah, let's get this over with.
I think it's at this point, you know, as the song is starting and you hear the song choice for Rhea, that you realise that the nice ensign that you were, you thought you were just hanging out as friends with, this is him making his move. This is him shooting his shot, and yeah, I think you're caught a little bit by surprise by this. Yeah.
When they like, it's totally because of your heart, and she's like, shit.
Fuck. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, that's just another little moment in the story I wanted to touch on there. I think about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later, the night's progressing. We're getting towards the end of the evening, I think, and I think it's coming up to Ray's turn at the microphone. Maybe even to close out the night, actually, I think. All right then, folks. Yeah, I think it's time to give it up for our final singer of the night. It's, him, head of the science department. It's Lieutenant Commander Ray. What have you got for us tonight, Lieutenant Commander?
Something a little bit different. I'm going to be singing Rainbow in the Dark by Dio.
All right, let's hear it one more time. Lieutenant Commander Ray, take it away. Big applause from nearly everyone in the room as you take the mic and launch into your song.
It's free.
You triumphantly finish your song to rapturous applause from the whole room. Standing ovation, I think. Polite but kind of resigned applause, I think, from your two rivals. Perhaps feeling that maybe you've one-upped them at this point in the night here. But yeah, we shall see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow
Murphy's
that,
like on her feet, like whooping. Like, come on, Ray! That was awesome!
Yeah.
As I turn around to head back, I also put the horns up. Do the guys in the corner.
Give it up again for Commander Ray! I don't know about all of you, but I think we've got our winner for the evening. Do you agree? Yeah! Okay, that's about gonna do it for this month. Thank you all for coming. Don't forget to thank our fabulous wait staff here in the Deck 5 Officers Lounge, doing the hard work so we can have fun. Before I leave you, just a sneak peek at next month's theme so you can all start preparing. We're going to be looking at the ultra pop of the 2180s, so get your glow sticks and your radioactive isotopes ready. And we'll see you next month. Make sure you get home safe, and I will see you all when I see you. Good night! And with that, Lieutenant Brayburn brings the evening's proceedings to a close for the month. Of course, the lounge itself doesn't ever close, really, but the event's over, so people start sort of trickling out. It's been a full evening. You've all been here quite a few hours. There's been a few drinks sort of consumed and that and everything, so I think quite a few people are sort of ready to call it a night at this point. Johnny, I think the one little button I want to put on this is that as you're leaving, you do kind of clock Faria leaving as well, and you can't help but notice that she's not leaving with the Bajoran who dragged her up on stage.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
Avoiding.
I think we can fade out on karaoke night there then. A much welcome evening of relaxation and fun for a few members of the crew after an especially stressful day.
With more drama.
Yes. Different type of drama than the injury type, but yeah.
Infinitely more pleasant type of drama.
Interpersonal drama. Yeah. We're going to move forward in time, just a little bit, I think. About a day and a half, to where the ship is reaching the end of its warp journey. While, as we've seen, people have had a chance to kind of have a little bit of relaxation on the journey, as much as they can, now that we're reaching our destination of the first system in the Bermuda Cluster, the kind of background tension on the ship has started to rise a little bit more. The sort of the anticipation of sort of reaching a destination which you've been heading to, really ever since you left Earth quite a few weeks ago, but also the end of this immediate warp jump, which has taken a little longer than it normally would. But then there's the added, I guess, more apprehensive tension of waiting to see what happened to the USS Nelson, who are hopefully waiting for you just at the end of this warp jump. I think we'll rejoin the story on the bridge. I guess we can say probably Ray, you would be on the science station, Captain's in the chair, Johnny, as usual, probably not on the bridge. Murphy and Relay, you can be on the bridge if you would like.
Yeah, if we're nearing the time where we're due to meet up, we'd probably have all senior staff.
Yeah, you would know that we're coming to the end of the warp jump, and that. Yeah. Okay. I would say for the last hour or so, as much as the inertial dampeners of the ship have been sort of smoothing out the progress, it definitely seems like you are out of the worst of the warp storm. The amount of unexpected vibration has significantly dropped off, almost to the point where it feels like you're just in sort of regular warp flight at the moment. Occasional rumble, but definitely not to the level that it has been during most of the flight. Ensign Sauce is at the helm. Coming up on our destination, Captain. Bringing us out of warp in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, the ship drops out of warp, and you get your first close-up look of the star system that you've been traveling to the last, nearly 3 days at this point. Unnamed, but with a code of BC 517. Ray, your station immediately starts beeping with a background radiation level warning. The captain quickly glances your way at the audible warning. Murphy, raise the shields if you would.
Sir.
Put the star on screen. The main view screen is filled with a view of the system's star, and even without any scans, you can tell something's a little odd about it. The entire surface is roiling in a way that you've not really seen on many stars that are this size, and there are huge numbers of sunspots covering large portions of it. Arcing promontories of solar material strike out from all over the surface, crashing back down into the roiling, boiling cauldron of the sun itself. As I say, you rarely see a star of this size be quite so active as this. Ray, can I get a reason science check from you? Difficulty 2.
Okie dokie.
And if someone could roll 1d20 for the ship systems as well, that'd be great.
I got a 7 and a 20.
Ooh, that 20's not great. That's a complication. I think I'm just going to roll that into a point of threat, though, for now.
It's a natural 1.
Ooh, okay, cool. So yeah, there's your 2 successes. So one success from Ray and 2 from the ship systems. And as I say, 1 point of threat from Ray's complication there. So over the course of a few minutes, you're able to get an initial scan of the star. And what you find is that it appears that the proximity of this star to the storm that you've just passed through is causing it to be eaten away. Essentially, shearing forces from the storm are stripping away the outer layers of the sun fairly steadily. I'm not talking like, this isn't an imminent danger. This isn't about to, go nova or anything. This has still got a lifespan in the billions of years, but it has been significantly disturbed by the storm to the point where it is, it's in a state that it shouldn't be naturally. The computer's analysis shows that really this sun should be pretty similar to Earth's sun, but that is not how you found it. Widening your scan, you're able to pick up that the system has 5 planets in it. 3 inner rocky planets and 2 outer gas giants. The second and third planet are in what would normally be considered to be the habitable zone in a system of this type. However, it looks like they have had their atmospheres mostly stripped away by the increased level of solar wind and radiation being put out from the star in its disturbed state. This disturbed state is actually the cause of the radiation alarm, which initially got your attention when you arrived in system. The just general background level of cosmic rays, particles, and radiation is much higher than normal for a system of this type, hence the alarm.
Murphy's just going to look at the view screen and then glance around to Ray. Everything looks a little wrong, off, lifeless.
There's several ways of putting it.
It's not what I expected.
Certainly a bit more chaotic than I was expecting.
Murphy's probably going to start running scans to see if she can find Nelson.
Sure. I'll give it to you for free that the Auckland has fallen into formation behind you. They were still pretty close. But the Nelson, I am going to need you to make a roll for me of, I think this reason science, difficulty 2, as you're using the sensors.
That is a 5 and a 6.
Okay, that's the 2 successes you needed. As you're sort of widening, I guess this would be, as you're doing it, kind of like a tactical scan, like of the system. I think Ray's ones would be more kind of like stellar cartography based and science based and things. You're both using the sensor array, but for like different things.
Yeah.
You kind of widen out your scan after not immediately picking up anything kind of in the inner system. You kind of widen it out to the outer planets and on almost the far side of the star from where you are, not like obscured by it or anything, but like just it's the other side of the system. You pick up at first what seems to be what the computer interprets as the ending of a warp trail, and then some debris.
Sir, I'm picking up the Nelson's warp trail, and some debris quite far out.
On screen.
Sir.
The image takes a moment to resolve, but when it does, what you see tumbling through space is the unmistakable shape of an Excelsior-class's warp nacelle. Part of the pylon is still attached, but it looks to have been sheared off.
Oh God.
The whole bridge stares in shocked silence for a moment. And then your sensor screen pings with another contact.
Just gonna look at what it says.
The contact you're detecting is in orbit of the system's outermost gas giant, quite some distance away. Takes you a few seconds again to resolve the view screen, and what you see is, in an erratic, skewed orientation, slowly rolling around its own axis, is the main body of the USS Nelson. Seemingly mostly intact, but obviously missing a warp nacelle. They are, however, quite obviously, from both your visual cues and what your sensors are picking up, without power and floating helplessly in the void. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back in 4 weeks' time with the next chapter of Frontier on Thursday, August the 1st, and we really hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, you can find us at pretendingwithdice.com. There's links on there to all of our online presences, including our social media pages, our Discord server, merch store, Ko-Fi page, and much, much more. So yeah, for now, that's our show. We hope you all enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.